Good people, today we are with the MEC of the Mpumalanga Economic Development and Tourism Department. We will be speaking to him and finding out how the department works, and we will also be touching base on the issues that we encounter in the province and also the country. Mr. Eric Kholwane, sir, welcome to MITV.
Thank you very much to you and your viewers at home.
Now, MEC, please outline the primary functions of the department.
Actually, is to deal with all the economic activities in the province, which can range from how do we ensure that we empower small business. But as you know that this day in government, we also talk about cooperatives, which it will mean in terms of how do we facilitate the establishment and the sustainability of cooperatives. But on the same time, it's a huge department because as we are doing that, we are also trying to respond to some of the national imperatives like your triple BEE, where you need to ensure that it's not only dealing about small business or cooperatives, but to ensure that those who are previously disadvantaged, then they are at forefront in terms of empowerment. But we are also looking in terms of regulating some of the industries like the gambling industry, your liquor industry, which is within the department in terms of regulation. You may know that we are also having some regulatory function within your Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency, which we normally call MTPA, where there are regulatory functions there, where you regulate in terms of how to deal with the issue of biodiversity and the other issues related to that. But moreover is also how do we stimulate the economy of the province around the issue of tourism, because it's part of our mandate. That's why it's economic development and tourism.
Yes.
I always remind people that it was not accidental, that is economic development and tourism. Otherwise, we should not uplifted the tourism at the same level as economic development and so on. So we're also working around that in terms of how to stimulate the tourism sector in the province, but working across, because when you deal with the triple BEE or dealing with small business or cooperatives, you are dealing with that across. You just mainstream that in terms of all the work which you're supposed to do. So even if you look tourism, the question which as a department we must be focusing at, how do we transform the sector itself, so that in the long run we've got a sector which is representing all the people of Mpumalanga or South Africans.
How exactly does the department contribute to the economy of the province, Mpumalanga?
If you understand the ecosystem, you have your provincial GDP. As you empower, in particular if you talk about small businesses, as you empower them and bring them into the mainstream, what it does then is going to increase our GDP. As they are operating now, you'll find that they're not part of the entire calculation.
Yes.
So as you work and empower them, that's why sometimes you say they cannot emerge for good. If you are emerging now, at one point you should be able to run. As government in particular, we are focusing in terms of saying, if you go to small business or cooperatives, what is it which government spend? Where is our expenditure as government? And how do we use our expenditure as government to ensure that we spend in line with ensuring that you promote triple BEE, and also in line to ensure that you empower this small business and also the cooperatives and so on. But it does not stop there, because if we are only focusing on what government can do, then we are making a mistake, because it means we are circulating the 39 billion of government within the province. But for the economy of the province to grow, you need new money which is going to come from outside, which you must also focus on investment, which another part what the department must do is to attract investment into the province, which means our mandate can't be limited, strictly speaking, on the small business and cooperatives. We must also work with big business, so that we ensure that we level the playing field, or we ensure that the environment is conducive for even big business to continue to grow, so that we've got new investment coming into the province. Because if you focus on those SMME and cooperatives, what we are doing, we're just recycling one and the same money. So we are not growing the economy of the province and so on. So we must attract investment.
Our province, Mpumalanga, is blessed with mineral resources like fertile lands, natural game reserves, and most importantly, a splendid scenery. How do you, the department, help the communities to seize benefit from such opportunities?
I think it's in threefold. You know that we've got the land claim process which is going on now.
Yes.
So what we are doing in the side of your Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agents, we engage the communities surrounding the parks or surrounding those areas in what you call co-management, where we co-manage with them. So what is happening is that the actual profit which we are making is shared with those communities who are surrounding those particular areas, in particular where we've got land claims and so on. But other than that is that as government, ours is to continue to invest in the infrastructure so that we are able to allow more people to participate, and as they participate, then it grows the economy itself. That will also go to the issue of your township economy.
Yes.
I think it's the fashionable thing these days. Everyone is talking about the township economy.
Yes.
But if you want to deal with the township economy, first you must ensure that you shift some of the buying power from your main cities or towns into the township themselves, which means you have to do some shifting starting from government in terms of procuring our services. Why do we have to procure all our services in town other than going to procure some of the services in the township and so on? So, but that need also the mindset shift because you know sometimes people they believe that a quality product you get it only in town. You can't get it in township, which is just need a mindset shift that we ensure that we really support it. But I think as government we can only lead by example. That if we shift our spending and then we're able to do that and also revitalize the industrial parks in our township which were there in the former homelands, Kangwane, Gwandebele and so on, so that they become viable, and then people start to understand that you can even the product which is produced in township is equally or it's got the same quality with the same product which is produced in township.
How many parastatals does the department work with, and how exactly do you support them?
We had 3, but now before end of this year we're going to have 4. The famous one is well known for good or bad. MEGA, Mpumalanga Economic Growth Agency. Then you've got the one which I've already spoke about.
Yes.
Actually, some of the work which I was talking about to support small business and cooperatives is the work which MEGA is supposed to be dealing with almost on daily basis. And you've got your MTPA, your Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency, where you look at the part of tourism and also how do you preserve or conserve our parks, because you've got the element of biodiversity. As much as we need to make money through tourism, but you need to make sure that you conserve our nature,
Yes.
As it is. So that will be the part of biodiversity, is MTPA. Then you've got the one which is normally they are saying is the SIN one, which is the gambling board.
Yes.
Mpumalanga Gambling Board, which is also one of the parastatals of ours. Recently, we got the approval to establish what you call Mpumalanga Liquor Authority. Over time, it was the component of the department, but now it's going to be a standalone entity like all the other entity, which is going to be called Mpumalanga Liquor Authority. In simple terms, if you want people to understand, is the one which is giving licenses for establishment of taverns and other things and so on. But they don't want that name. They all prefer to say liquor outlet. You know, they glorify it, liquor outlet. Yeah,
It's more corporate.
Yeah, it's more corporate. Yeah, I suppose.